Hi! We all know that the coolest and most stylish way to get around town is on a publicly funded 40-foot long rectangle on wheels that rarely goes over 17 miles an hour, but all the time smells like ass. What a lot of people don't know, however, is that recently a huge majority of New York City bus drivers have been trying to kill me. They've been trying very hard to intentionally collide into me head first and then run over my ragdoll, yet still fully conscious body until all that's left of Doug Fowler are streaks of crimson red and strands of flayed meat haphazardly dispersed across 5 city blocks. Some of them have almost gotten me too, but still no dice. Credit where it's due though, there have been some pretty impressive attempts of vehicular manslaughter made upon my life. So let's go through some of the best. These are the top 5 city buses that I've almost been hit by. Number 5, the BX16. This one has a special place in my heart because it was the first bus that made me realize that the MTA was intentionally trying to erase me from God's green earth. I was waiting to cross the street while the light was green, but the guy in the bus who had the right of way signaled to me that I could go first. I mean, I thought that was a little weird, but who was I to deny the kindness of a considerate soul? But then, when I started to walk, the bus driver absolutely gunned it. I was able to dive out of the way at the very last second, but then, as he passed, the bus driver looked at me dead in the eyes and, without saying a word, dragged his pointer finger across his neck in order to non-verbally convey the message, "You're dead." I don't really know what I did to the New York City bus system, but that's when I found out that they had a conspiracy to kill me. Number 4, the M102. I swear to God this one was psychological warfare. They want to crush my bones, yes, obviously, but not before they crush my spirit. I was walking on the sidewalk and then the bus jumped the curb and I dove out of the way, but at the very last second the bus cut back into the street anyway. As it passed, I saw the bus driver laughing at me and all the people on the bus had their phones out filming and they were laughing too. I think the bus driver told them to watch him do it. I don't think he ever really even meant to hit me. I think he just wanted to make me look foolish in front of a busload of people. And I did! I looked like an idiot. Sometimes at night I still think about how dumb I probably looked. Honestly, I would have rather been macerated by that hurtling death box. Number 3, the Q43. This one nicked me. Got me with the side view mirror right on the shoulder and I was out for like 3 days. This one is super interesting because it's the only time that a bus driver thought that he succeeded in his apparently MTA mandated duty of ending my life using a vehicle as a weapon. I hit the ground pretty hard when that mirror clipped my shoulder, and then immediately the bus stopped. I heard the bus driver start straight up screaming, but not like a scared scream or anything though. Like the best thing I can compare it to is when somebody gets chosen to go down on stage during The Price is Right. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like something like this.
Pramal Shah, come on down! You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Come on!
But anyway, yeah, the bus driver was really excited when he thought he killed me. When he calmed down a little bit from that, he turned on the radio and started to play We Are the Champions by Queen, and he was singing along really loud, but he didn't really know all the words, so it was just kind of annoying, you know? Anyway, eventually I gathered myself and I got up and I looked at him, and when he saw me, he got like super bummed out, and he turned off Queen, and he started playing Sad by XXXTentacion. And he just sat there for a good chunk of time, just staring into the distance. The song looped for like a half hour. Everybody on that bus was late to work. Number 2, the M79 SBS. This one was tracking me for a good 5 hours. At first, I really only noticed it in the city, because I was driving around Manhattan all day and it was always like a few blocks behind me. I started to get a little bit confused when I caught it still behind me in Queens. It's a Manhattan line, so I didn't really know why it was still behind me. I forgot about it for a while until I was well out of the city. I was in the middle of suburban Connecticut and I looked in my rearview mirror and this guy was hot on my ass. The people on the bus were bugging the fuck out because they needed to get to 79th and Broadway and instead they were halfway to Maine. I was freaking out too, dude. I kept making random turns down tight one-ways in an attempt to lose this maniac, but that guy was hitting all the same turns. I mean, he was driving crazy, and it was pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he ran a school bus off the road, sure, and it could be argued that that's not, it's not great. But just only looking at his driving skills, it was pretty impressive. I remember I kept thinking to myself, if this guy wasn't a homicidal mercenary employed by the lamest of New York City's transportation offices, he actually seems like he'd be a pretty cool guy. But he was a homicidal mercenary. And killing people for money, folks, you heard it here first. That's not cool. Anyways, eventually I was able to lose him when I went under this really low overpass and the bus followed and it got lodged in the overpass and stuck. And as I drove away, I saw the driver actually get out of the bus and started chasing me on foot, but I was able to get away because cars are faster than humans. The M67 and the M73. This was the first instance of a team-up. And so I'm going to give number one spot to both of them because they work together. I was walking up 11th Avenue when I saw a bus hauling ass straight at me going the wrong way down a one-way street. And then I looked behind me and I saw another bus going the correct way up the road, also aiming for me. There were women and children diving out of the way at the very last minute because these buses were shooting past red lights going 90 miles an hour at 7:45 in the morning. The cops didn't do a fucking thing. They just watched. I was able to dodge the buses at the very last minute, but they collided so hard that they crumbled like accordions. It kind of looks like when Wile E. Coyote sprints headfirst into the broad side of a mountain because he thinks it's a road because that dastardly roadrunner painted it to look like that. But instead of getting big bumps on their heads and cartoon birds flying around their noggin, the bus drivers spent 6 months in the ICU. Apparently they were damning my name the entire time. So, that's not great. And there you have it, folks. I mean, I still don't really know what I did to become the target of the full, unrequited rage of the New York City Metro Transit Authority's bus division. This doesn't happen with the subway system, folks. Alright, this does not happen with them. The worst thing that can happen to you on the New York City subway system is that you get stabbed with a needle by a homeless guy. Which also isn't great. That's also, yeah, that's not great either. But I'd still argue that being hunted for sport by bus drivers is worse. My daily commute is defined by intense, well-founded paranoia and overwhelming fear. For me, every day of life is nothing more than a new nightmare. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Subscribe because I do new videos every week, every Monday. Isn't that great? And also, like and comment and stuff. And also, bye.